Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. This is part 2 of whatever I named the first story time about how my ex broke my heart. Okay. So what I left it was I got in trouble and we started talking on Twitter. So we're on Twitter, I tell him I get in trouble. Then I'm telling him how he broke my heart, and I'm like, why'd you have to lie? Like, you always tell me like what you're doing, so I don't understand why you're lying now. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, what are you on? Like, what are you doing? Blah blah blah. He's talking about some, I don't know why I'm lying. I'm praying about it. You praying about it? I'm just like, please stop. Like, cut it out. Like, don't do that. Like, that's not funny. Like, that's really not something that I play with. Like, don't do that. Like, just please stop. So anyway, I'm in trouble. He's the only person I'm talking to. I still love him. I miss him, and blah blah blah. So I stopped being upset. Like, I stopped being mad about the whole. So anyway, I don't know what happened with the light, but he was the only one I was talking to. I stopped being upset about like the whole mall thing, like a dummy. So then I had a dream that he was cheating on me. In the dream, me, him, our friends, whatever, were at the lunch table. I was there sitting with him, like across from him, and there was this one like baby little freshman girl that came up to him, and she was like all hugging on him and like kissing on him and touching on him. And I'm looking at him like, what? And he's looking at me, and he looked like he got caught, like he like a deer in headlight. Like he got caught red-handed. There was no escape. He couldn't push the girl off because she would have been wondering like what's happening probably. And he was looking at me like, damn, like I've just been caught up. So in the dream, I just kind of chill and I look back and I let what happens happen. So I woke up mad. Obviously, I told him about the dream. He's apologizing, and I'm like, stop apologizing for the dream. Like, it's not your fault, even though it was. That was a clear cut sign. Like, I have never seen a more clear sign, and I ignored it. Like, I ignored it. So yeah. And then when I get my phone back, finally we hop on the phone, and I'm still a little bit upset, like about like just everything. So he's on the phone now. He's telling me like, I promise you, I'm gonna prove to you that you can trust me again. I'm gonna be more trustworthy. Like, I promise you, like, it's just me and you. It's us two, blah, blah, blah. Straight rapping on the phone, rapping. And I'm like, low-key eating it up, like, but I'm still a little bit skeptical. So I'm like, okay, we'll see. That's exactly what I said. I said, okay, we'll see. So to me, and I think to like any logical person, but I guess this is a prime example of make sure you hear the exact words. Make sure you hear the exact words before you start assuming stuff. Like, don't ever assume your position in somebody's life. But I just assumed that meant that we were gonna just focus on each other and work on our relationship. You know what I mean? Because that's what he said. So I think that was a fair assumption, but I guess I was wrong. So anyway, couple weeks passed. You know, we're good. We're building our trust back, building our relationship back. Everything's cool. So it's nearing, it's around July. It's because I went to Nigeria July 18th, 2018. So it's around that time. And around that time, he was going to school for orientation, but that's the kind of orientation where they have to stay for 1 week on campus. So he's going to school for orientation, and I'm like, okay, blah, blah, have fun. Look, yeah, I was caught. I don't remember if I was worried, but I probably was. So, but I'm like, it's fine. Like, I trust him, my man. Stupid.
Are really dumb.
So when he gets there, he's barely talking to me, and this is somebody where we would be talking to, texting each other constantly. When we get home, we get on the phone until we go to bed, wake up, each other still on the phone type stuff. So very, very connected, very attached, right? So, but when he goes there, he's barely talking to me, like almost like just going ghost, like, and I'm like, yo, like, what's going on? And he was like, oh, I told you I'm gonna be in meetings all day, blah blah. I'm like, yeah, you told me, but you mean you can't check your phone at all throughout the day? You can't until it's nighttime. And like when I was in high school, I used to go to sleep at like 11. Like I used to go to sleep early. Low-key, I still go to sleep early, but in high school, I really used to be out at like 10. So like he knew that. So I'm just like, you can't check your phone all day or like text me back all day. Like, you know, update me about how your day's going, what you're doing, what you're learning. Like you can't check your phone like at all. Meetings from when you wake up all the way until 10 p.m. where you can't even peek at your phone to respond to me for 2 seconds. Really? And I'm supposed to believe that because it's dumb on my forehead. Anyway, so again, he's still not, even after we had that conversation, still not talking to me, still not talking. And I'm getting pissed off because this is like, yo, can you give me like attention? Like, what's up? So I text him, I'm like, yo, like, I'm really mad at you, but I know my anger is irrational. That's what I said. I said, I know my anger is irrational because you're in meetings all day. I don't even know if I believed what I said, but I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. So I'm like, yeah, I know you're in meetings all day, so my anger is irrational. And I don't remember how the rest of that conversation went because when I brought it up at the end, he didn't even remember that I said that. So I don't remember. It clearly was a non-factor to him, like whatever. So fast forward, it's like it's like a week, like a Friday, like a Thursday or Friday or something like that. But this is when I'm going to Nigeria. So the thing was, I was flying to Nigeria from JFK. So we drove from Maryland to New York, stayed in a hotel, all that stuff. So I'm updating him like, hey, you know, we're on our way to New York. Hey, you know, we stopped at a hotel. But I mean, not we stopped, but we were at the hotel. We got here, like I got my bags, whatever. No response. So then the next day, I'll probably get like a good morning and that's it. And then we're going to the airport. So I'm updating him like, hey, we're going to the airport, no response. Hey, I just, you know, put my boxes on the thing. We about to walk through TSA, no response. I get to the gate, no response. Sit down there for like an hour or two, no text, no message, no call. And like, I'm going to Nigeria, I haven't seen my family in like 9 years. Like, I'm a bit nervous. Like, I need somebody to calm me down, somebody make me laugh. Somebody, you know what I'm saying? I ran. And he was nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. So it's time for us to board. I'm telling him like, hey, I'm boarding. I'm like, all right, I'll put my seat. All right, I'm sitting down. All right, we about to take off. This is the last time I can text you before I And then right before I turned off my phone, I texted him on WhatsApp and I was like, if you don't care about me, just say that, blah 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 blah. And I turned off my phone and I went to Nigeria. And when I got back to Nigeria and I got like the Wi-Fi and everything situated out with my phone, and he was like, you think I don't care about you? I was like, yeah, that's what I said. And then he was like, well, I do. And I was just like, I don't believe that. So say I got to Nigeria today. Tomorrow night, I get a phone call. No, I get a text message from Toby. And she was like, I gotta tell you something. And I was like, oh, it's about water, isn't it? I already knew. She was like, yeah. So I'm like, what? She's like, he's been talking to other girls. My heart went from right here. It came out of my body and just shattered. And then I hopped on FaceTime with Toby because I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, who's the girl? She not trying to tell me the girl. I'm like, she was like, she told me not to tell nobody. I'm like, I don't care, bro. I don't care what she told you. Who is the girl? So she ended up telling me the girl, pissing me off, pissing me right off. Anyway, she ends up telling me who the girl is, and I'm just like, really? Anyways, So I text him, I'm like, you're a piece of trash. You know, straight cussing him out. Like, I was cussing. I was like, you're a piece of trash. Like, why are you telling me all that stuff literally just a few days ago? Why are you telling me all that stuff? You didn't mean it. I didn't ask you for none of that. I didn't ask you to say that. You chose to say that on your own will. Why are you lying for nothing? You just keep lying. Like, what's wrong with you? Straight going off. Like, I was going off. And he was like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, you. I'm like, so you talking to other girls? You talking to other girls? He was like, yeah. I was like, Like, there was no remorse. He was not apologetic. Like, he did not care. He didn't care. I'm like, okay, how many girls? And mind you, I thought it was just one girl. I thought it was just that one girl that Toby was talking about. I'm like, okay, how many? He was like, oh, I don't know. I'm just going with the flow. Yo, but now I was like, I was reading the messages. I'm like, who am I talking to? Like, he just kept breaking my heart with every nonchalant response. My heart that was already broken into a trillion pieces just kept breaking. Like, it just kept breaking. And I'm like, who is this? Like, who are you? Like, and so I'm cussing him. He's just hitting me with the alright, okay, alright, okay. And I'm just like, yo, alright and okay. So I'm like, this is what I said verbatim. I was like, clearly you don't want to be in this conversation, so I'm gonna toodaloo. And he said, alright. Yeah, he said alright. And I'm like, alright? What do you mean? So I was just like, okay, so I'm crying. My heart is shattered. Like, and I'm in Nigeria. It's my second day here. I haven't even seen my family. I haven't seen them in almost 10 years, and I have to see them while I'm literally in the middle of a broken heart. And it's not even like towards the end of a broken heart. No, it just started. Like, I cannot function. I don't want to be here. I want to go back home. Like, I just want to be in my room. Like, I'm crying, but I gotta make sure nobody hears me, because what am I gonna say? I'm crying because my boy, like, no, I'm Nigerian. Like, no. So the next day he sends me some bull crap apology telling me that he's sorry if I feel like he hurt me, or if I felt like he was leading me on, and he hopes I get help from my mental problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? So, and then he said that he really wasn't feeling me since March. And I'm like, baby, it's July. Like, why are you still rapping me? Like, just a couple days ago, you was telling me how you gonna build my trust back, you gonna gain my trust back, and you gonna prove to me that you trustworthy. But you haven't been feeling me since March. Like, baby, 2 + 2 is not 5. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So then he goes on to telling me how he didn't even want to take the break, and how he didn't even want to be my friend after that. And I'm like, yeah, you told me all that, but we talked about it, and we have been rocking together since then. So that's really an irrelevant point. Like, so then after that, like, it was just rubbish. Like, it just went downhill from there. Like, he blocks me on Instagram and Twitter because I hit him up on Twitter trying to understand what happened. And he turned around and called me a liar. And I was like, baby, what did I lie about? Like, what are you talking about? And he just blocked me on Instagram and Twitter. And then there was this little Snapchat back and forth with him and his friends. Like, it was all of them against me. Try to call me ugly. Like, where? Play with your mama, not me. Anyway, and I'm just like, this is childish. So I was like over it, but I was still heartbroken, steady crying every night, because I was still trying to call him on the phone and go to sleep. Like, the beginning of college, like, it just started off so bad. So one day he called me, like, and I feel like he knew I was really heartbroken, and he would like call me like randomly and just like, he would call me randomly and just like taunt me. I felt almost like he was like taunting me because he knew that like he had really destroyed my heart and he didn't care. He was trying to make me suffer some more. One day he called me, he was like, today's National Call Your Ex-Girlfriend Day. And I was like, I remember exactly where I was when I got that call too. I was walking to the union and I was just like, so he started saying some rubbish, but I didn't want to hang up because I still love this boy. Like, so I didn't want to hang up, and I was just like, he was just chatting rubbish, and in my head I'm like, this boy's so annoying, but I couldn't hang up. So he was like, okay, bye. So I was like, is there anything else you have to say? Because I was just quiet on the phone, and he was like, no. So I hung up. So then he called me again, and I picked up, and he was like, I owe whatever. Like, him and his friend made a bet to see whether I would pick up the phone, and he bet no, that I wouldn't pick up again if he called me. His friend bet yes. Like, do you see, like, what he was doing? And I was just like, this is disgusting. Like, you're actually so annoying. Literally so annoying. So, yeah, after that, like, I was heartbroken for like 2.5 years, like, and I was already pretty depressed, so that didn't make it any better. So yeah, the college, great, starting off with heartbreak and depression, and then like college depression as well. Like, baby, I was going through it. I was going through it, child. But anyway, I'm over it now. Yeah, I hadn't seen him for 3 years after that, and then last semester, like, he had a game night. I went. It was cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's no animosity on my end. It's no bad blood. Everything's good now. We don't really talk, but yeah, I'm cool. But anyways, I hope you guys like this story. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you enjoyed this story, give it a big old thumbs up and a big old hit the share button and a big old subscribe and a big old comment. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Toodaloo!